Motor skills are an important indicator of overall development in the first 12 months of life. There is a typical developmental sequence for motor development, and we're looking to observe and facilitate this development in infants. We can assist typical development by understanding important positioning and handling strategies during that developmental period.
By 4 months of age, babies have learned to recognise family and familiar caregivers. They focus and pay attention to things and actively engage your attention. Babies are also learning to use their voices, and cooing sounds may be mixed with other consonants such as ba and da, and evolve into babbling. Exploration will be a big part of this stage. Babies are drawn to colours, patterns and shapes of different objects or toys. By reaching for and physically exploring objects, babies learn about touch, taste and texture. Oral exploration is a big part of this, and consideration to choking hazards in the environment becomes more important. Babies are beginning to learn object permanence. This knowledge will prompt babies to search for an object that has been partially hidden and to drop toys and other objects over the side of their cot. Babies at this age can see much farther away than just a few months ago. They can usually focus without going cross-eyed and can tell the difference between different colours. Now baby can hear and pick up on the different sounds made and the way that words form sentences. Babies learn about the world through touch. When a baby's cuddled or kissed, they learn that they are safe, secure and loved. When a baby feels a cool breeze on their cheek, they start to recognise changes in the world around them. By 4 months of age, babies are becoming more aware of their environment. They can now follow the course of a rolling ball and watch the quick movements of an older child playing nearby. Babies quickly make sense of and respond to what they see, hear, feel, touch and smell. The senses are a basic toolkit for babies, and in order for them to be stimulated, they need to have real, first-hand experiences. By the end of the 7th month, babies will be rolling, sitting and reaching for everything. It's never too soon to also stimulate creativity and curiosity. It's not so much the toy that's important, but the way it's used to help your baby learn. Consider the experiences a baby has had in your setting. What it is like for a baby lying on their tummy or back for long periods. What is their view from this position? Assess how much plastic makes up the environment. Plastic has very low sensory impact other than visual. Sensory social games such as peekaboo with see-through organza scarves. Activities that encourage babies to learn about where their body is in space, such as baby kickers. Looking at baby books together with strong colours and high contrast. Mirrored surfaces where you can look and play together. Consider placement of favourite toys to encourage rolling to get it. Singing songs with accompanying actions that make the baby an active participant. You can incorporate household items into play such as metal or wooden spoons, a small colander, metal cup, etc. Homemade toys for grasping, releasing, moving between hands, shaking, posting. They're all terrific, but great care must be given in choosing objects to use that are safe. No risk for shedding colour, paintwork, chemicals. No small objects that may break off or be swallowed as we are in the peak mouthing stage. Consideration must also be made for infection control by regularly washing mouthed objects in between use from different children.
So 5 to 8 months, we're seeing a continuous development of muscle strength and control. We're starting to see early transition movements, so that's the ability to move from one position to another. And these movements are really important because they allow us to access our environment and to learn, and if we can't move to get a toy to play with it, then that can become quite frustrating and we can't learn. We're progressing the floor skills. From tummy time, we're learning to weight shift from side to side, rotate our trunk and reach for toys. We're learning to pivot in prone and then learning to progress forwards. On your back, in supine, we're learning to play with our feet, roll onto the side and roll over to the tummy. During this time, we're also learning to sit. We're maturing from a position of instability and an inability to maintain balance in any direction to a gradual development of control in all directions. With our hands, we're learning more isolated control. The ability to use 2 hands to grasp, hold 2 objects at once, transfer objects from hand to hand, reaching from bilateral swiping to reaching with 2 arms with more control in sitting and in supine. Our grasp moves from a more primitive squeeze grasp to a whole hand palmar grasp to a finger-based grasp. We start grasping two objects, beginning to transfer hand to hand, and manipulating a toy with two hands. We start to learn how to release objects, particularly when another object is presented. Visually, we're looking for objects when they drop. Our eyes are starting to really learn focusing, converging and moving together. Our play skills are becoming more exploratory. We're beginning to explore toys with hands and mouth, as well as looking, shaking, banging, squeezing toys, and early anticipatory games like peekaboo, tickles, early imitation of skills like banging hands or a toy. We can help by facilitating rolling, so showing the bub how to roll over, supporting sitting to start with, and then we can decrease our support as these skills become more independent. We want to have lots of variety in toys and objects for play and sensory exploration. We want to encourage reaching in supine and in prone and supported sitting in all directions and using both hands.